Right now on 12 News at 5:30, a major technology outage has snarled operations at companies around the world. We bring you the latest details. Plus, President Biden has indicated he will continue to campaign next week after he recovers from COVID. We have that story. And a Boeing plea deal is taking longer than expected to finalize. We tell you why. All of this and more starting right now.
From WBNG, the Southern Tier's #1 local news. This is 12 News at 5:30.
Good evening, and thank you for staying with us here at 5:30. I'm Zach Grady. A major technology outage has snarled operations at companies around the world. It impacts everything from airlines to the hospitals. The cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike says the outage is related to Microsoft cloud-based services and was not caused by a security incident or cyber attack. Bradley Blackburn has more now on the outage and how it's affecting air travel.
At New York's LaGuardia Airport.
So if you're here and you're going on the 3290 to Atlanta, make your way to the gate.
Airlines used megaphones to inform travelers about departing flights after the arrivals and departures boards went black.
It looks like a scene from Gladiator. There's just a million people around, and it's kind of overwhelming, but, you know, we're taking it in stride.
The cyber outage left airlines around the world without access to check-in and boarding services, resulting in thousands of canceled or delayed flights.
We're on standby, so we're just waiting.
The cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike says the outage was caused by a faulty update to computers running Microsoft Windows.
We identified this very quickly and rolled back this particular content file. Obviously, many organizations are impacted.
Planes are gradually getting off the ground, but the FAA warns flights across the country could be impacted through the weekend.
We are in a unprecedented situation.
Some government operations, healthcare facilities, and small businesses were also impacted. But the New York Stock Exchange opened without a hitch.
This is one of the first times that we can almost celebrate that this was not a threat actor. This wasn't somebody who hacked CrowdStrike. This isn't your computer getting hacked. This is an engineering mistake.
And despite a delay in their travel plans,
we made friends in there, a whole group of friends. We're all different places, flying on different airlines.
These travelers stuck in Las Vegas are making the most of their situation. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
It is a beautiful day here across the Southern Tier, and we head upstairs to Connor Thompson, who is on the Dan Brown weather deck built by Dan Brown Construction. Connor, I know I've asked you a couple of times. I know it's beautiful. How nice is it out there right now?
It's gorgeous. I mean, with the sunshine, the temperatures in the low to mid 70s, you really can't beat it. A nice northwest wind here. Really can't beat it as we end our work week across the region. Satellite radar showing nothing. A few high cumulus clouds, but besides that, nothing really of a worry here. The wider view, area of high pressure ranging all the way from Minnesota, even up to the Dakotas, probably well down into Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe even down into North Carolina as well. So again, a very nice stretch of weather here across the region. So take a look at the high temperatures across the Northeast. Saw us unofficially at the airport, 75, 80 down in Scranton, 85 in Harrisburg, 79 in State College. Wellsville a bit cooler at 72. Even Portland in over Maine getting an 81. So very comfortable conditions across the Northeast and even more currents. 79 in Shenango, 77 in Harpersville, 78 in East Sydney Lake, 74 in Norwich. And we are looking at temperatures right now in Ithaca around 75 degrees. It's going to be a great night across the region. Sunny skies, clear conditions, temperatures falling down to the 50s. Weekend looking pretty darn good as well. Let you know what we can expect coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Connor. Appreciate that. The former firefighter who died shielding his family from gunfire at a Trump rally was laid to rest today. People young and old lined the streets of Freeport, Pennsylvania, as a fire truck carrying Corey Comparator's flag-draped casket drove through town. The 50-year-old retired firefighter died shielding his family from gunfire at former President Trump's rally on last Saturday. Comparator was the lone fatality, and 2 others were injured in the attempt on former President Trump's life. The head of Butler Memorial Hospital says his team was ready to receive the wounded president as those in the waiting room watched as the scene unfolded.
They were incredibly efficient when they arrived. They were thorough, and they took hold of the security situation very, very quickly.
Questions still remain as to how this attack happened in the first place. CBS News has learned the gunman's parents attempted to contact him before the shooting. Multiple sources tell CBS News 20 minutes before shots rang out, Secret Service had been notified about a suspicious person with a rangefinder. Sources tell CBS News Trump was allowed on stage because there was no indication the suspicious person was armed. Former Trump Organization Chief Financial Officer Alan Weisselberg was released from jail Friday. Weisselberg served 100 days for lying during an investigation into Donald Trump's real estate businesses. Trump's former right-hand man pled guilty earlier this year to 2 counts of perjury related to the New York Attorney General's investigation into the Trump Organization's finances. Weisselberg got a sentence of 5 months as part of a plea deal, but with time off for good behavior. He served 100 days at New York City's Rikers Island jail. It was the second guilty plea for Trump's longtime money man. Weisselberg served 100 days after he pled guilty to engaging in a decade-long tax fraud scheme. He left the Trump Organization under a severance agreement following that first guilty plea. Weisselberg never turned against Trump despite pressure from numerous criminal investigations. President Biden is still at his home in Delaware recovering from COVID. The president issued a statement Friday afternoon responding to former President Donald Trump's convention speech and laying out plans for his return, despite calls for him to drop out. No Republicans are calling on Trump to drop out. The GOP galvanized around their candidate during the RNC in Milwaukee over the last 4 days. Erica Brown has more details from Capitol Hill.
President Biden says he will hit the campaign trail again next week.
He has the vision, I believe, the ability, the capacity, and the track record to make a case to the American people that will result in us being successful in November.
Biden campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon said on MSNBC that the president can win in November, despite his age and struggles since the first presidential debate.
I'm not here to say that this hasn't been a tough several weeks for the campaign. There's no doubt that it has been. And we've definitely seen some slippage in support, but it has been a small movement.
The Biden campaign touted support from the PAC supporting the Congressional Hispanic Caucus today, but that came as at least a half dozen more Democrats joined a growing list of lawmakers calling on him to step aside.
A big part of his legacy should be him stepping aside and allowing for that new leadership. And I think the country is ready for that.
And a new Democratic group is paying for a commercial to play on MSNBC in Washington, D.C. and Delaware.
Be the leader we know you are. Pass the torch, Joe.
The calls come as former President Donald Trump could get a bump in the polls following this week's Republican National Convention, which saw the GOP unify behind their nominee.
4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
Trump will be back on the road again Saturday, campaigning for the first time with his new running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, in the battleground state of Michigan. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The White House recently passed its version of the national defense budget that would make all men automatically sign up for the draft. The Senate Armed Services Committee approved a bipartisan proposal to expand that to women as well. Since 1917, all male U.S. citizens between 18 and 25 have had to register with the Selective Services System or face possible arrest. Iraq War veteran Allison Jaslow is the CEO of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. The former Army captain says 75% of her members support the idea of requiring women to register in the draft.
We've proven that women are as capable to fight in combat roles and to fight at war in our generation, in this era that we're living in. Why not ask for equality of sacrifice from our women in America today?
Conservative Republicans and the Christian think tank Family Research Council oppose the idea. Federal Affairs Director Mary Beth Waddle cited a 2015 Marine Corps study that concluded all male units outperform mixed gender ones across the board. The men were also faster and more effective in simulated battlefield tasks.
It's not about women's equality. It's not about women's rights. It's not even about what's best for national security, because this would be dangerous, it's unnecessary, and would be harmful to military readiness, lethality, and unit cohesion if this were to become law.
The women in the draft amendment is unlikely to pass to the full Senate. Neither of the chamber's defense plans will likely become law, is being reported. Both will negotiate to decide the best way to move forward. Friday, a Russian court found American journalist Evan Gershkovich guilty of spying. That's according to Russian state news industries. The Wall Street Journal reporter was sentenced to 16 years in a maximum security colony following a closed trial. In March 2023, Gershkovich was arrested during a reported trip for the Wall Street Journal. He was later accused of spying for the CIA. The U.S. government, the Wall Street Journal, and Gershkovich himself vehemently denied the charges. The U.S. State Department designated him as wrongfully detained and is calling for his immediate release. The Justice Department says it needs more time to finalize the plea deal made with plane maker Boeing earlier this month. On Thursday, the DOJ said it has been making, quote, substantial progress in the finalization of the agreement, but they say officials need more time to work through some remaining details before final terms are filed with a federal court in Texas. Those terms were due to the court on Friday, but prosecutors say it will now be Wednesday at the earliest. Earlier this month, Boeing agreed to plead guilty to one charge of conspiracy to defraud the United States for its role in two fatal 737 MAX crashes. The company would pay $487 million in fines, a fraction of what the families of the crash of the victims want. The plane maker will also have to operate under the oversight of an independent monitor chosen by the government. A budget motel has been ordered to pay $2 million to the estate of a man severely burned from water from a shower. 76-year-old Alex Cronus was staying at a Kentucky Econo Lodge in a suburban Cincinnati area in 2021. He stepped into a shower that was spraying water hotter than 150 degrees. Two co-workers had to pull him out as he suffered third-degree burns, as reported. Cronus waited hours to visit a hospital. His burns did not heal, and he died from complications a month later. In the wrongful death lawsuit, a jury found the motel's owner failed to properly maintain the room for reasonable safety. Cronus's family was awarded the $2 million judgment. There has not yet been comment from the motel's owner's attorneys. And still ahead here on 12 News at 5:30, Americans are turning to their credit cards now more than ever. We hear from a credit card expert on ways to get out of debt as we come back. But before we go anywhere, we continue to look at downtown Binghamton and a beautiful day from the Security Mutual building.
It's the little moments that make life special. From school projects to family game nights, we provide the power that starts your day, the warmth that tucks you in, and all the moments in between. Since 1852, NYSEG has proudly served upstate New York, investing in modern infrastructure, renewable energy, and customer service. And we're powering all those little moments that mean so much. NYSEG, where energy meets humanity.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay and how fast you can get started.
If you haven't called Senior Life Insurance Company for your free quote, you're probably paying too much. Senior Life was able to get this 65-year-old woman a $10,000 immediate benefit whole life plan for under $41 a month. She saved over $450 a year by choosing Senior Life. Some competitors cost twice as much. This 65-year-old man was paying almost $110 a month before he called Senior Life. We were able to cut his rate to $52, saving him almost $700 a year. These low rates are locked in, and so is the coverage amount. Hundreds of thousands of seniors have taken advantage of our low-cost plans built with seniors' budgets in mind. We saved this couple almost $1,400 a year with more coverage compared to what they were paying. Call now to find out if Senior Life Insurance Company can cut your rate in half. The quote is absolutely free. Switch to Senior Life and stop paying too much. Call now.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP on select GMC Sierra models. We are professional grade GMC.
At WBNG, we know you're busy, which is why we're here whenever you need us, anytime, anywhere. Let us be the first to bring you breaking news, local sports coverage, and first alert weather. Just search WBNG wherever you stream and catch up on all things 12 News.
This is Avery Copeland with Around the Cheers.
Yeah, it's amazing what a little bit of sunshine will do, right?
Welcome back and welcome into the Sports Desk. I'm Zach Grady.
All for free and on your schedule. WBNG, anytime, anywhere.
Only 40% of Americans recognize carrying a balance on a card can hurt their credit, according to a new NerdWallet report. And this is significant as we continue to deal with inflation. Many Americans now saying they're now paying late fees on bills and using credit cards to cover the cost of necessities. And while a third of Americans say they're using credit cards to pay for necessities in order to accumulate rewards or cash back, 16% admit they didn't have the money to pay for these expenses outright. That means they're taking on debt to buy those needed purchases.
It is hard out there still. Prices are still high and interest rates are still hovering on average over 22%. So when you do get into credit card debt, it's really expensive and it could be really hard to get yourself out. And so that's where you really need to revisit your budget, revisit your sources of income, see if you can make some changes to better afford those day-to-day purchases.
It's easier said than done, but Rathner says it's better to avoid credit card debt as much as you can because it's so expensive right now. And she says missing a payment is one of the worst things you can do.
Late fees kick in for credit cards if you miss your payment due date. And if you're more than 30 days late, that could affect your credit score pretty significantly, around 100 points. So it's absolutely something you want to try avoiding, which you can do if you make at least the minimum payment by the due date. And if possible, pay more if you can. And even better, pay the bill completely in full, and then you avoid debt entirely.
Rathner says earning rewards points on credit cards is good, but it only works if you're paying off your bills in full and on time each month. It's not working for you if you are carrying a balance each month. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
We move from watching our wallets to watching the weather, and we check in with Connor Thompson back in the studio now. Connor, what is going on and how's the weather out there?
Yeah, the weather's looking absolutely fantastic. Really couldn't ask for a much better day to end the work week. Satellite radar remaining relatively quiet. We're seeing a few cumulus clouds, but cumulus clouds are fair weather clouds, so that means no real issues. And if you're thinking, what about the rest of the country? Well, up and towards Minnesota, North Dakota, maybe even South Dakota, pretty quiet conditions all the way down to, let's say, Virginia, West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky. Really no major issues here expected across a good portion of the United States. Overlooking Johnson City right now, I see those clouds, you see the sunshine. At the airport right now, looking at a nice mix of sun and clouds, 73 degrees, northwest winds around 6 miles an hour, so a much more comfortable day than what we experienced recently. 76 in Whitney Point, 79 in Greene, 79 also in Conklin, 75 in Star Rucka, 68 currently in Delhi for our friends off to the east, 75 in Stamford, 71 in Roxbury, and 75 in Margaretville. Headlines over the next couple of days here. It's going to be campfire weather tonight. It's going to be perfect, nice and cool, no wind. Perfect time to go enjoy your backyard. Weekend's also looking fantastic. Not perfect, but fantastic. It's looking pretty good, despite the chances of seeing a few pop-up showers. Unfortunately, the good trend of weather we've seen, yeah, that ends as we head into next week. We are looking at an unsettled period for next week, and that also means the possibility of seeing a few thunderstorms develop as well. But for tomorrow, that golf forecast, we'll say partly cloudy skies throughout, maybe a few more mostly cloudy skies at times, but still a very nice day across the region. Look at highs by around 3 o'clock in the upper 70s. It's pretty good, and hopefully your golf scores are more like the noon temperature, because knowing me, mine are in the 100s. So hopefully you can get out and have a good day, but if you are heading out, make sure you put that UV index on, or sunscreen on. UV index is going to be around an 8, meaning you can get burned around 25 minutes or so. And future track showing not much really happening. We are going to see these clouds build on in from the south. We are looking at the potential here of a system well to the south of us that's going to push in these clouds, but overall remaining relatively dry. Like I've been mentioning, there's the chance of seeing a few pop-up showers develop. Very quick showers, not looking at anything in terms of accumulation. The evening time, we are looking at the potential here of seeing some more showers, again, redevelop quick though. Going to quickly move on through the region just as quickly as they bubble up, and then look what happens heading into Sunday. Looking at some clearer skies, some fog as well, heading into Sunday morning. So temperature-wise, we're looking at temperatures tonight, low 50s, maybe some 60s on the board around midnight, but falling down into lower to mid-50s, and then for our Saturday, we really can't beat this. The last weekend of July, one of the last weekends in July, by 2 o'clock, mid to upper 70s, lower 80s, really fantastic conditions. And as we head into Sunday morning, looking at temperatures in the lower 60s, once again looking at temperatures rising into the lower 80s. But that humidity, yeah, that's going to be on the rise, and you'll notice comfortable conditions for tomorrow and Sunday. But look what happens as we head into Monday through at least Thursday. We are looking at some very humid conditions. We are looking, luckily, at some cooling down as we head into Thursday evening, as a cold front will move on through, and we are going to be sandwiched between two stationary fronts, like the name implies, not moving. So that's why we're going to see those thunderstorm risks Tuesday through Thursday, but the weekend looking fantastic. 81 for our Saturday, 83 for Sunday, 85 on Monday. Isolated thunderstorms possible, then scattered thunderstorms Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We are looking relatively dry on Friday, looking at temperatures nearing 81 degrees, but we are looking at a few isolated rain showers early.
Connor, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Stick with us, because still here on 12 News at 5:30, a famous actor is taking time from the set to go back to school. We tell you who and how the actor is working around his tough filming schedule.
Do you have wet basement problems? B-Dry System of Binghamton was voted the #1 basement waterproofing company by the readers of the Scranton Times, Happenings Magazine, and the Williamsport Gazette. B-Dry is an accredited member of the Better Business Bureau and is proud of our A+ rating. The B-Dry system comes with a lifetime warranty that covers materials and labor. Special financing as low as $129 per month. Call B-Dry System today for a free estimate.
Right now at the Matthews Import Center, save big on a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles from every major brand. Every used vehicle at Matthews has been carefully inspected and is priced to sell with flexible financing options, including our popular Fresh Start financing. See our full selection at the Matthews Import Center in Vestal.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
Yes, you can. So can you. Of course you can. And you too. Yep, you can. And all of you. Yes, you can too. Sorry, not you. So, what are you waiting for? If you've ever thought you couldn't join Vision's Federal Credit Union and get all the benefits of banking with us, now's the time, because yes, you can.
I'm looking for a nice spot to spend the summer.
Spend it with the summer of me.
In the summer.
The summer of drama.
You here for the summer?
Westerns.
The summers in Dodge are getting hotter.
Sci-fi.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
And the summer of comedy.
Ah, being paged at the pool.
The summer of me.
You can catch the summer reruns.
It's the summer of me, all summer long on Binghamton's Me TV.
David Daniel joins us with movie, music news, and your Hollywood Minute.
You feel it? Glenn Powell is chasing more than movie stardom. As the Twister star prepares for his next film role, he's also working on getting his college degree. Powell tells IndieWire he'll be in class at the University of Texas in Austin when he can. When he's in London shooting The Running Man, a remake of the movie based on the Stephen King novel, he'll attend classes via Zoom. Powell says Running Man director Edgar Wright has been very nice about giving him time to study during production. Cirque goes country. Cirque du Soleil Song Blazers, the performing collective's first show dedicated to country music and its storytelling, debuted in Nashville, Tennessee this month, and the show's soundtrack album, ranging from classic ballads to modern hits, goes on sale today.
No sane man would want the papacy. The men who are dangerous are the ones who do want it. That sounds ominous.
The Pope has died, and a new pontiff must be chosen, but a secret threatens the entire Catholic Church in conclave. Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, and Isabella Rossellini star in the Vatican thriller. The official trailer was just released, and the film opens in select theaters November 1st and across the U.S. November 8th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That is it for us here at 5:30. Coming up on 12 News at 6, we head back to Cooperstown as the Baseball Hall of Fame gets ready for 4 days of celebration. But before we go anywhere, we give you one last look at the southern tier from the Dan Brown Weather Deck, built by Dan Brown Construction. Stay with us. We're back in just a few moments.